I'm Andrea Giles, and you're listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, episode number 142, Who Should I Tell? Hello, and welcome to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, where courageous women learn not only to heal from their spouse's betrayal, but to become the boldest, truest, most decisive, and confident versions of themselves ever. If you know there's more for you than the life you're currently living, but don't quite know how to get there, you are in the right place. Stick around to learn how to create a life that will knock your own socks off. Is it possible? It is, and I'm here to show you how. I'm your host, Andrea Giles. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hello, everybody, beautiful friends and listeners. So glad that you're here. Today, I have decided to spend this entire episode talking about a question that I get a lot about who to tell. It's a good question, right? It's probably one that many of you have had. Many of you maybe have told people and wish that you could rein it back in, right? Take it back. Some of you might be at the beginning of your journey and really wonder, who do I tell? So I decided to spend this episode talking about that. Before I dive into this episode, I want to let you know something super, super exciting. My doors are open, as they have been for a while, to my group program, Get Your Life Back After Infidelity. But I am making some changes to it this month that are going to be open, ready to go next month, that are really, really amazing. Like really amazing. Where as I'm creating, as I'm putting it together, I'm going, this is my best work. This is the best. It's so good. We're doing things like quarterly virtual retreats where everybody in the group will get together and we will spend a longer day together than just our regular call times, with specific trainings and coaching and deep dives into different topics. That's just going to be part of the program. There's coaching that you can get inside the program as bonuses, as add-ons with personal one-on-one coaching. You also get so much group coaching, like so much. And the group coaching, I'm telling you, that's where it's at. You just got to trust me on this. If you have not experienced group coaching, it is powerful. In many ways, I think it's more powerful than individual. You hear from other people and it puts words to things that you are thinking, that you are feeling, and helps you to feel more normal, and you can learn from other people and get coaching yourself. I'm restructuring the program inside the portal so it's so much easier for people to navigate. It's a whole year. It's a whole year program. I've gone back and forth on that time. Is it too long? Is it too short? And what I've decided is I like it because you are going through probably one of the hardest times of your life. And even if you start the program wanting to make a decision, wanting to feel more confident in your decision, you are then learning how to live into the decision. And there are things that come up with that. There are bumps in the road. There are things that happen where you will want to get back on calls and get help to help you navigate it. Anyway, if you have not looked into my program, go check out my sales page, andreagiles.com. You can look at the Work With Me section. You can book a call with me to ask me questions about it. It is an amazing program. It's my best work. The people in it are changing their lives, transforming their lives. Anyway, moving on. Let's get into today's episode. Okay, so my guess is that in looking at who you should tell, you are likely in one of two camps. Okay. Camp number one is I am pissed. I'm going to shout it to the rooftops. I don't really care if he's mad. He does not deserve to be protected. He didn't protect me. He certainly wasn't thinking about me. So why should I think about him? Right? People should know, and they should know about her too. All right. While I think every listener on here can probably understand why you might feel that way, let's break it down a little bit. A question to ask yourself is, what do you hope to gain by others knowing? What do you hope to gain? What do you hope that might come from other people knowing? You answering that question, honestly, will give you a lot of information. If you just want people to be mad at him with you, you will find people. You will have friends that will readily be mad at him with you. You can find people who are all over you leaving, who are all over you saying mean things about him, all of that, right? And sometimes at the beginning, We do. We do need to feel that anger. And it comes up throughout. Like it can come up a year in, it can come up 2 years in, where just you can feel some anger. But in regards of who to tell, if that is driving you, it may not work out the way you want it to. Why? Because when you're in the state, you are in a highly emotional state, rightly so, right? You're mad, you're hurt, you feel betrayed. You want others to be on your side, to understand, to feel what you're feeling. But you're in a highly reactionary state, highly reactive. You're highly reactive to this intense pain that you're feeling. Here's the problem, okay? We can't control how others react. Let's say that down the road, you're not reactionary anymore. You very calmly and methodically look at things and see some shifts and see that your marriage is worth fighting for after all, that you really, really care about this person, that there's way more good that outweighs the hurt that you're experiencing, and that you want to give it a shot. If you've told people who are going to judge him forever, and more importantly, judge you and make you wrong for staying, this can totally bite you in the butt. Relationships can change and never come back. They can never be the same again when the wrong people are told. I know this from experience. I am speaking from experience here. I have shared things with people that I regret. People who couldn't handle it, made them too uncomfortable, and so they just disappeared on me. Like, oh, okay, I'm out, right? Disappeared. Friendships lost. Friendships that will never be the same, right? I think that it requires a lot of discernment, and you are capable of it even when you are in a highly emotional place. The immediate relief or validation that you might receive by telling someone is just not a good trade for long-term wondering what that person thinks, knowing that they judge him, knowing that they might judge you. It can have a very big backlash at the back end. That initial relief can come at a high cost to you, okay? I'm all about preserving our emotional energy. We only have so much of it. This work that you're doing requires so much energy, intention, resourcefulness, growing your ability to hold discomfort. I don't want you spending one single ounce of energy trying to babysit other people's feelings and emotions about you or your spouse. And sometimes when we tell the wrong people, we energetically give up some of our own valuable, precious energy. So what is it going to cost you to share with the different people that you're thinking of sharing? Okay, now number 2, second camp that you might be in. You're too embarrassed to tell anyone, so you go it alone with zero support. How many of you are in that camp? I hear this a lot. No one knows. I haven't told anybody. You may be really afraid of the ramifications from your spouse if you tell someone else. You might feel that if I tell someone else, it's the nail in the coffin. He's ashamed, he says he's sorry, and it would mean to him that I am now betraying him. I find this interesting because even though your trust was betrayed, you are now carrying this burden of not sharing your hurt with somebody else because you have this notion that it will betray him. Like I said before, this needs to be about you and what is truly best for you. I'm not talking in that initial stage when you are really, really raw. I'm talking over time. Like, what is actually best for you? What kind of support do you actually need? Okay, we are not meant to do this alone. Everyone needs some kind of support here. Everyone. We aren't meant to suffer in silence because we're afraid to rock the boat. All right, here's something that I see that's a problem. If we are kind of colluding with our spouse in going, okay, I'll keep your secret. It's killing me. The secret is killing me. And I go to my work and I'm with the kids and I'm around family and act like nothing is wrong. And it's killing me. But I'll do that because I don't want you to be mad at me or feel like I betrayed you. Part of the problem I see in this is that it's not pushing the development or growth of your partner. There need to be consequences. There needs to be discomfort. There needs to be accountability. And sometimes when we are very honestly sharing with somebody else because we need the support and it makes them uncomfortable, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just that they're uncomfortable with people knowing because now they know something about them that's not super favorable, right? So the other question I have for you is that where does this end? If you are in this pattern of just, I'm going to keep this secret and not tell anybody, or I might tell one or two people, but he'll never know because he would be so mad if he knew. Where does this end? Are you just jumping it back into a pattern that was already there before the infidelity of not standing up really honestly for where you're at and telling the truth and letting him be uncomfortable? In a healthy, strong relationship, there is discomfort like crazy. There are a lot of things that are uncomfortable. The difference, though, is that we learn to respect it. We learn to metabolize our own discomfort so that we can keep moving without making our partner completely responsible for our comfort. If you are placing your spouse's comfort over your own, this can set you up for a whole lot of resentment over time. That when I really needed support, I denied it myself because I was trying to protect him, even though he did not protect me. Can you see where that might go? Right? So a good question to ask is, will me telling somebody, the right person, and we'll get into that, will me telling somebody offer support to me that I really need right now? And is there a way that I can tell certain people that's not going to cost me down the road, like have a really negative consequence down the road to me, to us, regardless of if I stay or go? Okay, that's a good question to ask. Now, another topic that often comes up is around, should we tell the kids? And I think that there is no perfect answer here. All of you who have this question have different ages of children. And even at those ages, they have different maturity levels. They have different things that they can handle, different things that they want to know to kind of make sense of their world. And you get to be the one that discerns that feels that out. I personally am in the camp that kids can handle a lot more honesty than what we think they can. The biggest piece here that becomes dangerous is when we place a burden at their feet of needing them to see it in a certain way, or think about it in a certain way, or manage our feelings around it in a certain way, or validate us in our decision making. That's the burden we place on them that can really cause problems when we create enmeshment, when we create a lack of differentiation. You can go back to that episode about differentiation, where we are making other people responsible for our feelings. And then what happens is these are children that grow up to be adults who have a really hard time standing on their own. They're so afraid of rocking the boat. Okay, so I think that, again, some of the same questions as above are, what am I hoping to solve here? Like, what am I hoping for here in telling the kids? I can tell you that for me, at different times, I've wanted children to know things because I felt that it was fair to them to know. I felt like it was me honoring them and their humanness to know different details. To this day, none of my children know every detail because I don't think it serves them well. I don't think they need to. I think that if they have a time in their life where they want to know different things, they can come ask me and I will readily give it to them. But some of the details, I think, are more of a burden to them than a help. But when I was contemplating divorce, things like that, yeah, I did feel I'm not just going to pretend like, oh, I just decided I don't want to be married anymore, right? It was way more complicated than that. And because I did talk with them some about it, like very, very high level. By high level, I mean like not getting down in the weeds of it, sharing some things. But because I did share some, when things went south, which in my situation, he ended up losing custody. He lost custody in a court and then he died. When those things happened, my children were not completely shocked because I had already shared with them a little bit about what was going on. From a loving place, I love your dad. I care very much about your dad. And this is not a great place for us to be, for me to be. I wish him well. I want good things for him, but it's no longer a safe place to be. And being able to have those conversations has allowed me to continue to have those conversations with my children as we've navigated other things since then, right? They know they can come to me with the hard things and that I will be here for them, that I can handle their emotions, right? I'm not making them responsible for my emotions and I'm not trying to manage theirs. They get to feel what they're going to feel, right? So again, if you are being backed into a corner of don't tell because I don't want their judgment, or if it's pressure that you're feeling, I invite you to look at that and who is that actually for? Is that for your spouse because they're embarrassed? Is it for you because you're embarrassed? If you are really looking at things that what in the long term is in the highest service of your children, what would you tell them? Not what's most comfortable now. Okay. With this comes a mindset around trusting that our kids are resilient, trusting that our kids can handle hard things. They are way more resilient than you think they are. Okay. All right. So who to tell? Back to that question. A couple thoughts here. You can come together. If there's a shot that you two are going to work things out, you can come together and decide who are your safe people. Like you can say, I know that I need to share. So let's talk about who we both think are safe people to tell. Okay. Another thing that I have seen is I've had friends come to me and say, my spouse knows that I talk to you. He knows that you're my person that I share with. And their spouse knows me and that I believe in people and that I believe that no one person's answer is the same for every marriage, right? And so I think that we want to find people who we know can see nuance, can see that it's not black and white. It's not as easy as just decide and go. My gosh, what are you doing? Just leave. Okay, so you can come together and discuss and come up with people that work well for both of you, okay? Some other ideas are a coach, such as myself, or another coach, a therapist, people you know who have worked through hard things in marriage and have an open view to staying or going. People you know who have held safe space for you in the past, that no matter what you have told them, they don't freak out. They can love you and see your goodness and see that in everyone. Another great place are infidelity groups, specifically where there are people that are trying to stay and make it work. And there might be people leaving too. Okay. Little shout out to my own group. This is what is in my group. I have a lot of people that have already decided to stay and they are looking for support of how to strengthen themselves to stay in a healthy way and to really drive forward, creating a very strong marriage. And there are people in my group who know they have to leave and are navigating all of that, right? But in my group, there's no judgment. I believe everybody in the end really gets to a place where they are making the decision that is best for them. And there's so much mutual respect inside my group, okay? Use caution, scan out to possible ramifications of telling people, and ask yourself, do I want to energetically deal with this person's thoughts, their judgment, their whatever it is that they're bringing? Look at what you are hoping to achieve by telling this person. And is there possibly a negative side to that might come back to bite me in the butt, right? And what might that be? Okay. I hope you have found this episode helpful, thought-provoking, giving you some things to think about. And at the end of the day, you're probably going to do things later on that you're like, maybe I shouldn't have told that person, or I wish I would have gotten myself more support. But hopefully this will help you to make less of those errors or mistakes or things that you're like, I wish I would have done this a little bit differently. And I will tell you this, that as I wrote this episode out and got prepared, I'm like, yep, I've made plenty of these mistakes myself, and I'm still okay. And so are you. Okay, just some things to think about. All right, take care, my beautiful friends. I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast. If you would like to be kept in the know about upcoming free classes, new podcast episodes, and other ways of working with me, go subscribe to my weekly email. You can subscribe at AndreaGiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. Again, it's AndreaGiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. I will see you next time.